welcome to the fourth quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, and we have some unfinished business, and that's a reference to our sponsors. We have two sponsors left.
How about Carl's Thrift Away? You can go in. Let's start on the gift shop side. I usually start on the pharmacy side. I'll start on the gift shop end. You can go there and get baby clothes, Lamborghini lamps and oils, wind chimes, religious items, bath and body products, home decorating ideas. It'll even go to your home to help figure out things. You know, you had nice, beautiful custom wreath done for your home. If you're looking for nice wreaths, little bitty, big, and the one you got made, that thing might be 6 foot, 8 foot in diameter.
Something like that.
Huge,
it's big.
huge.
It's big.
They'll make whatever you're looking for. They can do all that kind of thing. And don't forget, they're a pharmacy, so all your pharmacy type needs. They've also got the Instamold type things they can do. If you're a shooter, you know, a gun guy or gun lady, or if you're a swimmer, they can do the customized ear protection for your ears. You go by the store there.
Compounding also.
They'll compound your multiple prescriptions to make it easier for you to take. You know, if you're taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that, they can make it in one nice, easy to take pill or liquid. They can help you out with that as well. And one more sponsor, LHC Group, Home Health Care Needs. They can help you with all that good stuff, from the therapist to the nurse. Maybe it's the equipment you need in your home. Maybe you need to do a little workout and stay in shape because you're rehabbing. You can go to the Health and Wellness Center here in Opelousas. They got locations, though, all over the country that do home health care. They also have palliative care. They've got hospice care available. Louisiana Healthcare Group, all about helping people.
To kind of wind up on the Crime Stoppers article that I spoke about, I forgot to, I guess, talk about the main honoree of the night, and I'm speaking of Lieutenant Donald Young of the Opelousas Police Department. He was chosen as Superior Officer of the Year Award, and he was presented this by Captain Megan Vizina. And she went on to credit him with different events and different groups that he works with over the years and still working today.
As a strong law enforcement guy, but also a guy that's very active in the community about the helping people with the soft touch, the being the friend, you know, because that's a whole lot of the police work. Isn't just about grabbing the bad guy and putting the cuffs on. Sometimes it's about helping take care of kids that are involved in these situations and helping the families.
And Judge Jimmy Genovese, who is with the state's Third Circuit Court of Appeals over in Lake Charles, he served as the keynote speaker.
I heard the talk was only 1 minute.
Well, that would be, I understand between he and Bobby Dupre, it's hard to know which one is going to talk the longest. I've cut mine down. I don't know if you've noticed in recent years, I've cut mine way, way down. I found out that you can say what you have to say in a little bit of time, but the judge, you know, he can keep you there because you never know when your case might not end up over there with him.
There's no complaining about it.
So you don't want to get on his list, I'll tell you.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning to all of you. And to Crime Stoppers itself, Judge Brinkman was one of the founders of this, and he was also gave some nice numbers about how many cases have been solved because of the Crime Stoppers.
And Judge Brinkman was on the plain attorney side. He was on the prosecution side. He became a judge. So I mean, he's seen law from all the different sides.
All the different sides. And just like we saw the big Ford sign over at Bordelon Motors has been moved recently from its location downtown to the service road that would be on the east side of I-49 and
near the Cresswell Lane extension.
Right, and it's next to Sterling's already Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep facility. They're building the Ford and Lincoln next door to it, and that moving along, and that big sign is going to be used there, and that was pretty neat, keeping that sign. A little history. Bordelon Motors, I think, were they the oldest Ford dealership in the same family? I think they were the last. They were the oldest Ford dealership in the state of Louisiana. At one time, they were like the third oldest, but then some others have already made that move to sell.
You had Bordelons with Chevrolets, and you had Bordelons with Fords. That was brothers, or?
Brothers, and then you had Bordelon with Edsel.
Oh, really?
and Nash. That's before your time.
That's before my time.
That's before your time. You know where Dixie Glass is now? Right in that area right there, if my memory serves me right. And Joe Swallow's daddy, Bill, was possibly the manager of that. So maybe I forgot about that. And
back together.
Tie back. And Joe has been in and out of the car dealership business himself. Ran Oplus Auto Sales for me for a number of years.
Correct.
So anyhow, giving you a little history here. Hopefully we getting 98% of it right. We might make a...
As long as we're close.
That's right. Revolutionary Roasters. And the article starts off by saying it's the latest microbrewery to hit Acadiana, and it's not for beer, but it's for coffee lovers. And so they'll be roasting coffee, and you'll be able to go there and where I kind of understand it, and put in your order, or they'll have some that you can choose from.
I visited one of my friend's houses, and he had a rice cooker that roasts the rice before it cooks it. I'd never seen that before. He says they get brown rice and they roast it, then cook it. That's kind of interesting.
Pretty much. There was an article in the Advocate in the People section. That was July the 2nd. And I don't know, this young, beautiful girl right here, there was something that I had to do a little investigate, had to read the article.
Enough, you had to stop and
I had to stop and look at it. And she's a designer, a clothes designer, and her name is Suzanne Perron. And I said, and the first time they had put an E on it, so it didn't get me my attention as much. Then when I saw the second article on it, it had just Perron, P-E-R-R-O-N. So I called Donnie and asked Donnie Perron if any relation. He said, yes, it is. It was his older brother, David's daughter. And she's going, I added, she's going big time.
She graduated from LSU some years ago. She went to New York, worked, the person she collaborates the most that people would probably recognize is someone named Vera Wang. She's a specialist at wedding dresses, and these dresses you see when they go to get the Academy Awards and all the Golden Globes and all that type of thing. And I brought Austin, your godchild, to a dinner hosted at the Shaw Center by LSU's museum to meet her and got her book and all. Very nice. Very talented.
Yeah.
If you want to get your wedding dress, your next wedding dress that you got to get done, she can do it.
And I can't get married again because my caterer closed shop, Ray Bello, he says I used to keep him in business with my wedding reception.
He would come out just for the
you think he'd come out of retirement for that?
But he don't make the white wedding cake. We'd have to find somebody else to make the white wedding cake. My sister can do that. We'll cover that.
Yeah, I understand she's staying real busy. Probably busier than what she had anticipated.
Country Cakes, you can find them on Facebook or in Grand Prairie.
How you like this 1959 Cadillac? Outrageous Tales. I mean, it's really
59. Beautiful car.
Beautiful car, and all the big name cars, Chrysler and Mercury, and all the bigger models had these big fins, and it was an era.
My grandfather had
an era. E-R-R-O-R. It's E-R-A.
Right. He had an Impala, and instead of going up the fence kind of went out on that big red Impala.
Curved out. You're right.
Beautiful car.
Yeah, no, they were all, even the smaller Chevrolets, Fords, they all had gotten into these tails here, as they call them. We talked recently about the scholarship funds that our attorney friend Glenn Armentar, and they also showed a good bit of the DVD, which I have, by the way. I want to give you a copy of it. I have 2 copies, and one of them was to give to you.
Some of his story about
his story of how he came up very poor and had gotten in a little bit of trouble. It goes through the whole story, and what he's talking to the young ones, you can make a little mistake and correct that mistake, but you know that there are opportunities out there, and he's a living testament to what you can do with your life and have a little bumpy start.
There you go.
Montclair Offshore completes a rig, and Montclair has been in the workover business for many, many years in the Lafayette area, and now they're doing some actually inlet drilling up in Alaska. And they have a big story, complete story, going from Parks, Louisiana to Alaska, a 4,500-mile journey over land and sea.
And I saw they just completed the largest offshore rig ever. Was just completed, one of these, those big jack-up rigs that they bring out. Big, I mean, this thing is huge. They were showing they're just bringing it out in 30 days. It'll be secured in the Gulf. So drilling is back.
Big time. And I have an article somewhere in here. We'll get that next.
How about the nice article on Judge Colley's Saloon Jr.?
Right.
Was that
I have that
nice,
right here.
Huh?
At 95, retired Judge Colley Saloon Jr. continues to influence life in Lafayette. Isn't that wonderful? Quite a story.
They credit him for the multiple ticket system to help keep people honest with the tickets. At one time, they would only make one ticket so the cop could throw away the ticket on the street, or somebody in the process could just throw it in a trash can. He came up with the multiple ticket system that made it where, because everybody had a copy, you couldn't just get rid of one.
The word was back in when I was younger, and back in those when he was a city judge, if his mother got a ticket, she'd have to come in front of him and pay the ticket.
He was tough.
He was tough, but he was fair. He did it to everybody. There were no favorites.
And the mother was a Bustani?
A Bustani, yep.
Yeah,
yep. So that Lebanese...
the Nassifs, the Fakuris, the Abdallahs, all those old families here. They had a large community.
Large community. They found out where the good living was, where the good life was. And of course, the Hymans and very generous people. They made money, but they didn't hoard it. They didn't just put it in banks and in cans in the back of the house.
And the article talked about, what I didn't realize is why the street had been named after his father, and the only reason it was because the family donated the property to make the street. That's how his father had passed away. His mother donated the property and said, we're going to name it after my deceased husband. So.
Got a nice letter from Lenny DeVille. Lenny, a number of years ago, offered me a service that he has over at Edward Jones. And he took all of my stocks that I bought over the years, 15 shares here, 15 there, you know how that goes over. And he brought them in, and they give me a monthly report on it. And
1 minute.
What he was writing this letter is his daughter Holly is now associated with him. You know, that had to be a very happy day for him to have his daughter working with him. And it's time that we...
That's it. We're at the end.
We, of course, each week, we hope you enjoyed the program. We ask you to consider attending the church of your choice. And we try to close the program with maybe a little thought. Most loving Jesus, let your love make me loving, and your sacrifice make me ready to give myself to others. This weekend and every weekend, have a nice time, and remind people they can watch the program on its replay edition Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.